Hello, my name is Denise Pearce and it's final presentation time. Very nervous about this, of course, as I'm sure everyone is. To summarize the year, the semester, but it has been fantastic. I hope that my chronicles have shown this so far, because the chronicles I found are the best reflection of what we've learned. The every section being divided the way it was fantastic. Spirituality, I believe, was the first subject I wrote about in my paper, and that was enlightening for me due to the fact that Dr. DeMartini talks about how spirituality is your purpose. It's your higher call. It's your serving others, and serving others is spirituality to me. It always has been. It's just the most basic form of spirituality. So that was reaffirming and educational, and just a lot of good reading with Dr. DeMartini. As far as our chronicle and section on physical health, that was extensive, exciting. Learned a lot. Learned a lot more about the chakras than I knew. So I'm learning a new language here, which is always great. The physical health is amazing in how connected it all is, from the emotion of fear to stress to prey and predators, all of this creating physical reactions in us that affect every other part. It has been fascinating to learn. I've really enjoyed it. And the connection between the physical and the spiritual and the mental and the emotional, we all know that's true, but we just read it here in such detail and so many different ways of learning about the different how do we say, factors of our optimal health, of our overall health, of our holistic health, of course. So of course I did make a small presentation, but a couple other things I wanted to touch on were the TED Talks that we watched throughout the semester were amazing. One was better than the other. I mentioned in my final paper how one of the TED Talks about guerrilla gardening was mind-boggling for me. It felt like a revelation. Of course, you make your weapon a shovel in the city. You make it cool. You make it exciting and enticing to grow your own food, or even your own flowers in the neutral ground, instead of just having, I'm sorry, neutral ground is a New Orleans expression, median, in the median. Even just if food shouldn't be grown there, and due to high pollution, smog, a lot of cars, a lot of traffic might kind of contaminate any food you want to grow flowers, grow beauty, grow something, and then you'll have seeds, and plant those seeds elsewhere next year. Or that was just a topic I could go on and on about. Another thing that stood out to me along the lines of the extra videos and TED Talks was I think it was called the Radio Lab about guts, and how they've performed gut microbial transplants. That is, I again feel like, is revolutionary. That has to be explored further. If we can help digestive problems, people with the children with kwashiorkor, by doing something that they didn't go into detail to say how much is involved in this, but it sounded like a phenomenal idea. We have to look further into that, which touches on my reasoning or my subject matter that I will look further into down the line. Didn't have enough time this semester. The section on family and relationships I thought was going to be a give me, But of course it wasn't, because anyone who thinks that you know it a lot about relationships, I won't say know it all, but a lot, you'll be the first one that'll be taught a lesson in a relationship. And so that continues to happen at times, but the relationship and family section was fabulous. And I have to give Dr. DeMartini credit again, please, for the values factor, because learning the values and looking at others in terms of their values has changed my life for the better. I do not jump to judge. I do not jump to anger quickly with people now, because if something they've done or said or how they've behaved seems to aggravate me, I stop and ask, what are their highest values? Just look at the person, ask yourself what their highest values are, then their behavior makes sense. So that was a psychological, sociological revelation for me. Thank you. That was fantastic. I think absolutely one of the biggest things I've walked away with, even though every other subject was phenomenal in itself. I think that might be some of the best insight that I've gained. So in putting this together, I hope you'll like it. It's very simplistic, but my chronicles were me. My chronicles exhibited my learning and my growth. And all I could think of in my presentation for my art was that, and how I felt like I had grown so tremendously. So if you will allow me, the center is me, because I am the flower that has grown and bloomed. And the green is my stems and leaves. Oh, and the flowers. Those are supposed to be the petals. All of my chronicles in color, in the shape of petals-ish. That was the idea anyway. So that is me this semester. That is me and all of my growth and blooming. I'm sorry it doesn't look as pretty as it should. Thank you. Good night.